One of the primary reasons students choose to study in Canada is to work after graduation. And all of this can be made possible through the postgraduate work permit. Now, there are multiple requirements needed to be eligible for one, but the two main conditions that you need to meet are the following. Number one, you must have applied to a designated learning institution, and second, your chosen program must be PGWP eligible. Simple, right? But guys, that's only the tip of the iceberg. In fact, there are a few more things you have to do, especially during your studies. You have to make sure that, number one, you are a full-time student, emphasis on the full. Second, you are actively pursuing your studies. And third, you are maintaining good grades, or at least passing all of your classes. Now, today's video will feature a case study of a PGWP refusal due to the confusing definition of what a full-time student is. Hopefully, you learn a thing or two from this case, since this minor detail can majorly impact your ability to get a PGWP. Anyway, without further ado, here is the story of Irena. Irena is a Russian citizen who came to this country in 2012 on a study permit. She got her high school diploma and completed a bachelor's degree from Ryerson University here in Canada. In winter 2017, specifically during her second year at Ryerson, Irena enrolled in 4 courses, which met the definition of a full-time student, and she did very well in her classes. However, due to the unfortunate events involving one of her family members, her performance started to decline. Not only did this stress her out, but it took a toll on her mental health, resulting in poor grades on her midterm exams. So while enrolled full-time, she decided to drop 2 out of the 4 courses she enlisted in. Upon completion of her Bachelor of Commerce degree, she submitted her first PGWP application, but unfortunately, this application was refused in December 2020. By January 2021, she submitted another PGWP application, but this time with the help of an immigration consultant. In this application, Irena gave a very detailed explanation as to why she wasn't able to maintain full-time status for that winter 2017 semester. She included a letter from her support advisor in Ryerson University attesting to what had happened then. Despite these efforts, her second PGWP application was also refused for the following reasons. Number one, Ryerson University defines full-time student status as students who are enrolled in 4 classes per semester. Second, to qualify for a PGWP, the student must maintain a full-time student status throughout each academic semester. Which leads me to point number 3, where the student did not maintain full-time status given that she only completed 2 courses in the winter 2017 semester. But Irena wasn't giving up. In fact, Irena challenged this refusal at the Federal Court of Canada by arguing that the visa officer's decision was unreasonable. And here's what happened next. By the way, very quickly guys, if you want to hear more case studies like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button and also like this video so I can keep making more videos to help you on your journey to study in Canada. That's all, thank you. So, what was the verdict? Well, upon reviewing the case, the judge did agree with Irena and said the following. First, Ryerson's definition of a full-time student is someone who is enrolled in 4 classes per semester. In an official statement submitted by Ryerson, it considered Irena as a full-time student for the winter semester since she met the condition of having enrolled in 4 classes. The visa officer failed to consider the university's letter, and by doing so, did not exercise sound judgment in assessing Irena's eligibility for a PGWP. It's okay, Mr. Visa Officer, I know, we're all human. Anyway, the judge then ordered that Irena's PGWP application be reviewed by a different visa officer. Now, I'm not sure what happened after this federal court decision, but I am hopeful that she received her PGWP after it was redetermined by another visa officer. Good job, Irena. So, what can we learn from this case? To be honest, guys, the requirements of a study permit holder are quite stringent, and failure to comply may result in losing your status or losing your chance to apply for future immigration applications. That is why for lesson number 1, make sure to check out IRCC's website on study permit guidelines before making any decision that may impact your long-term goals to stay here in Canada. Number 2, keep receipts of everything. It's always good to leave breadcrumbs in case you need to prove something later on. Case in point, let's look at Irena. She presented a lot of evidence that helped overturn the refusal she initially received. Another tip is to determine how a full-time student is defined. The definition can be different from school to school. For example, other schools may require 3 courses per term or semester, while others may require 4. So talk to an advisor about the full-time student course load and make sure to get an official written statement from the school. It's possible to take a leave of absence from your chosen program for up to 150 days under certain circumstances and still be considered a full-time student. Because let's face it, life happens and not everything is smooth sailing all the time. But guys, just make sure to read through the eligibility requirements before taking any course of action. Oh, and very important because this was a fine print that I found on IRCC's website, and it basically says that you cannot work on or off campus during an authorized leave, even if your study permit says that you're allowed to work in Canada. So watch out for that. Finally, regularly check for any updates with regards to your PGWP eligibility. I know that you have 180 days after graduation to apply for one, but also don't forget your diploma or degree, official transcripts, and a letter from the school attesting to the completion of your program. Your study permit must have been valid during those 180 days, so don't wait until the last minute to apply for your PGWP. And don't worry guys, all of the relevant links in the description box below are there to help you see the full picture of what you'll need to prepare, so make sure to check that out. Anyway, that concludes today's video. I do hope that this case study helped. PGWP enables international students to gain valuable Canadian work experience during their stay here. So it's critical to understand details on your PGWP eligibility so you don't run into any issues when the time comes for you to apply. Have you encountered or know of a situation similar to Irena? Well, if so, comment it down below and feel free to share your insights and takeaways from this experience. Thanks again for watching, be safe and be kind, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!